आज इस डिबेट में यह तय हो जाएगा कि भारत के संविधान के साथ कौन खड़ा है, और यह भी पता चलेगा कि अल-कायदा और जवाहिरी वाली सोच के देश में कितने समर्थक हैं, क्योंकि हिजाब के विवाद में अब ओसामा बिन लादेन के आतंकी संगठन की एंट्री हो चुकी है।
आज अपने प्रोग्राम में हम यही चर्चा करेंगे कि लफ्ज़ जिहादियों के हथकंडों का कैसे जवाब दें। लफ्ज़ जिहाद के वायरस की वैक्सीन क्या सरकार ही तैयार करेगी या इसे खुद भी हमें इलाज इसका करना होगा।
For me, it had reached a point where it had become very unsettling that how can this go on and how can this continue? So I tried to look up what are the ways in which news media can be held accountable, what are the regulations they are bound by, which is why when I discovered about self-regulation and I started filing cases. I'm someone from a minority group. I'm a queer person, and I've seen and known what are the harms of discrimination against a particular community can cause. Even today, we have the most vile things being said about gay men. During COVID, we saw a lot of people blame the queer community, LGBTQ community for the virus, while we had nothing to do with it. When it came to such news programs online, I was obviously affected by it, and I wanted to not sit idle and let things be and turn away from it. NBDSA is a self-regulatory body formed by a bunch of news channels. Most of the top mainstream news channels, except for Republic, etc., are a part of NBDSA, including News 18 India, Z News, India TV, etc. It is formed by two categories of members. One of them are independent experts from the field. This is mostly retired judges, retired civil servants who have held high positions in the past. And the other half includes editors of various channels who are a part of, who the member channels are a part of NBDA. And they have powers to take suo motu cognizance against such shows that run on the television. However, in my experience over the last 2 years that I've been closely working in this space, I've seen that extremely rarely has NBDSA taken suo motu cognizance. It's only when a matter becomes very much discussed in the public domain or is about to reach the High Court or so is when they step in to take suo motu cognizance. I try to look at it as a triangle where one corner of this triangle is the government, which benefits, and the ruling dispensation that benefits immensely from harming the fiber of our society, from causing communal tensions, and for just polarizing the people of the country further away. The other part of this triangle is the corporates, which control the media, which have vested interests in serving the government. And the third part of it is the media in itself, which is controlled by these corporations. And therefore, they sing to the tunes that their bosses ask them to sing. In an ideal scenario, we would have seen that the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting would have itself been very proactive in curbing this. And I wouldn't have been required to file more than 50 complaints in the last 2 years with the NBDSA. However, I've noticed myself and experienced myself while approaching the MOIB as well, that even they are very passive. They do not take action in most cases. They don't reply to user complaints, and that the reason behind that is the same. This hate is being pushed for, the hateful agenda is being pushed for from the top to the bottom. hearing is usually conducted in 1 to 4 months time period, and after which an order is passed. It's funny how much time the order can take to get passed. In some of my experiences, especially with sensitive matters, I've seen that orders are passed right after a high court passes a certain order in these cases. So, which is what makes me think that there might be external pressures at play, because a lot of these cases are very straightforward, the violations are very blatant, and this is a group of experts from the field, right? Ideally, it should not take them such a long time. For example, in the case related to the farmers' protest, where I had filed a complaint for misinformation, they waited until the government rolled back the farm laws and until the protest was dispersed to pass that order out. In most of the cases, I think the time period is anywhere close to 6 months to up to 1 year. What this does is, during this whole time period, the show that is uploaded on social media by these channels has already been seen by lakhs of people, so the damage has already been done. I'm only glad that they are at least a functioning organization, because the parallel organization of which Republic TV and a few others are a part of, like Sudarshan TV, called News Broadcasters Federation, they do not even respond to user complaints. I've heard a lot of people say that if you don't like it, don't watch it. But at the same time, I feel that not watching is not going to stop millions of others from watching such content and getting influenced by it, right? One thing that does work effectively is spreading more awareness and having more people raise their voice against it. In some cases, I would also say protesting outside the offices of these news channels, obviously at great personal risk. We've seen that in Hyderabad, in Telangana, a certain Telugu news channel used to very repeatedly post a lot of homophobic content on their news channel, and it was only after a large group of the LGBTQ people in Hyderabad protested outside the office on multiple occasions is when they started being a little cautious of what kind of broadcasts they put out. To repeatedly keep on saying such things, the larger public audience begins to believe that to a certain extent. I think there is this saying that you keep telling a certain lie again and again until it becomes the truth.